Dixon Show. I'm Gabriella Kreuz alongside the top dog. How was your Labor Day weekend, partner?
Well, I'll tell you this. Bring all dogs. You see me barking? It is dog town time right now. Can you believe this season is getting ready to kick off? But you know what? I'll tell you what I did. Did you go to the air show? Did you?
I didn't. I went out of town, but I know you had to go to the air show.
You know what? I didn't go. The reason why I wanted to talk about it because we did another show and I did a show with Nathan Zagura, Nathan.
Yeah.
And Nathan, nothing would surprise me if some of the things that he's doing, but he went to the show, and not only did he go to the show, he went up in one of those aircrafts.
I think I saw his wife posted about that on Instagram.
My
so
God.
Awesome.
I told him, I said, man, let me tell you something. I said, there is no way. And he could say what he wanted to say. You could tell he was a little bit afraid. But isn't it amazing, the excitement that this air show, everything that it brings to Cleveland every year?
Every year it's pretty cool, and the pictures are always awesome. Like, they blow up on social media, and it's kind of fun to... We were at the ballpark. We could hear them practicing, the days ahead. So it's fun. It's a nice little marker of football seasons to come.
What about big play golf outing?
Oh, big play golf outing. How did you play? Because I was there for the vibes and just socializing.
I have to say this. I was really surprised. I played with Dave, and Dave is
Dave's really good.
Listen to me. Dave is a damn good golfer.
Yeah.
I mean, he can hit it. He can get through the ball. I was shocked. I said, man, I thought you was working, but hell, he's not doing any work. He's pretty much playing golf all the time. But he played really, really good. Also played with, he's going to kill me for not remembering his name. He played for the Indians. He was a pitcher. And
Jensen.
Jensen. Jensen's gonna kill me when I see
Jensen Lewis.
Jensen, I didn't forget you, my friend. Jensen is not bad.
He's
Jensen,
not bad.
Yeah, Jensen can play. But the good thing about it, we had such a good time.
Yeah, it was a good day for it.
It was a good day, and then it was good food afterwards.
Uh-huh.
I sat there and I had some of those ribs. So it was just.
Oh shoot! I missed all that. I got the little lunch that was hot dogs and stuff, and then I had a jet.
And then I forgot all about the golf course. I didn't when they kept talking about
Little Mountain Golf Course.
Yeah,
really
and I said, but once I got there and on my way there, I realized I had been there before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really, really great course. I wanted to hit you up with this too. I thought it was kind of sad, and sometimes I bring our show down a little bit, but the hockey player.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Gab, did that touch your heart?
That really did. When I read the articles, because I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but obviously it made national news, and I just couldn't believe the timing of it. It was like the day before his sister's wedding and everything. He has 2 kids, and his brother too. I couldn't believe it. Too young.
Yeah, and his brother's wife, my understanding, she's pregnant, and she's due in December, and she's gonna have their first kid. So it was just really, really touching, and I wanted to
we
give
had
that
a moment of silence at the ballpark.
Yeah.
I think it was nice that a bunch of the teams just locally and probably around the nation were honoring his legacy and giving him a moment of silence and doing that for him and his family, because obviously it's a huge time of grief.
And I know we got to take a break, but we like to run this first segment long. But I just want to say this. I want to speak to some of these kids out here. It's just ridiculous. I think these 15, 16-year-old kids, they're walking around with guns and some of these shootings and what come to mind. I mean, there's a ton of them. But I'm thinking about the incident at Shaw High School where they had the big reunion. I'm telling you, tons and tons of people come out and they think they're going to have just a celebration. And then one of these kids, for some reason, whatever, just takes out a gun and just starts shooting. Come on, we got to stop this. I mean, that's just so ridiculous. And innocent people just don't deserve that. They deserve to go out and just have a good time. And I just wanted to say that. I know you're looking at me. We got to take a break. So.
We got to take a break, but I'm glad you snuck that in, and I always appreciate your insights and your willingness to speak up on those. We are going to take our first break of the show. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We're talking Browns Week 1 preview, and our Browns preview today is brought to you by Northeast Factory Direct. If you're looking to update your home, you've got to check out Northeast Factory Direct. They have furniture, kitchen cabinets, hot tubs, mattresses, and way more for a lot less than what you'll find at those fancy, expensive retail stores. And you can also shop online at northeastfactorydirect.com, or you can visit any of their stores in Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, or North Canton. And don't forget to ask about the Hanford Dixon bonus.
And you know what? You see that chair that I'm sitting in? That chair with the dogs all around me?
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think that chair came from?
Wait, it's not in the pic. It's not in our shop.
But
It's in yours.
Where do you
There
think
it
that chair came from?
Northeast Factory
You
Direct.
got it. You got it. Hey, Gab and I, we're still trying to talk them into maybe
Giving
doing.
away.
Yeah, giving away.
I think they will.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what context makes sense, but we're gonna get that done. Hanford, does it feel like football season to you?
Gab, you know what? I was just thinking about that this morning, and I just don't feel the excitement from the fans yet. I just don't feel like, and again, you know, as gradually, I think as the week goes on, I think it will build a little bit more, but I just don't feel that excitement about the Cleveland Browns right now that we have a big game coming up. But right now, no. But I think it's going to. I think it's going to build.
I think part of it too is that the summer just went by so fast.
Yeah.
I know people probably say that every year. This year it did feel kind of quick.
Well, did you know this? In September, this is when we really lose a lot of the sunlight.
Oh, darn
it's
it.
Gradually just going away from us.
I didn't even get like one pool day this year.
You didn't?
No, well, I got one.
You can't swim anyway.
You're not wrong. It's why I bailed out of a triathlon this year.
You can't swim. Stop it.
I'm medium.
Okay.
I can float real good.
Okay.
Okay, the biggest story all preseason has been the health of Deshaun Watson. And, you know, we've heard all about the rust with him. How long do you think it'll take him to shake that off?
Well, I think it's crazy because I still believe, and you know my feelings on this. I felt like he should have got rid of some of that rust in the preseason. Should have played a little bit in the preseason, or wanted to, should have had some snaps where he could have gotten hit or something. But I don't know. I don't think that's where the regular season is for. I don't think that's where you should get the rust off, because I guarantee you this: Dallas is coming in here, and obviously they're going to be ready to play. I mean, those guys, they know that we're going to get into some injuries and some things like that we have with this football team. But I guarantee you, those guys, they're coming in here, and Parsons and company, and they're going to be ready to go. But to answer your question about Deshaun, hopefully the rust is gone, because we hear every day they talk about him in practice, how he's throwing the football, he's throwing with velocity, how he's got a spiral going, and he's back to the old Deshaun that we're hoping to get, we're hoping to see. But I think probably it's going to take him probably a quarter or two maybe to get the rust off, hopefully, and get back in there. But a quarter
of a game or a quarter of the season?
A quarter of a game. Yeah. A quarter of a game. But see, that's what the preseason is for.
Yeah. That's
what the preseason is supposed to do. You're supposed to get in there, and you're supposed to work out all the kinks and all this stuff right now. And unfortunately, he didn't play. And again, you know, I understand where they're coming from. They don't want to get him hurt, but he can get hurt in the first game of the season. This is football. That's what this is, a contact sport, and you got to play it. You got to play it, and you got to play it to be good at it. And hopefully, and no one wants to see him hurt. I mean, we want to see Deshaun go through this whole season healthy and lead this offense and be the old Deshaun that we used to see him in Houston with Texans. So hopefully he's back, and hopefully he's ready to go.
Okay, so the Cowboys had the highest scoring offense in the NFL last season. What does our top defense need to do to slow them down.
Boy, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be really, really tough because we were sitting there hoping and praying that we didn't get a chance to see CeeDee Lamb, who is their top.
He's got his new contract. Zeke Elliott back in Dallas, and Brandon Cooks, he's not a slouch.
And it's funny, you mentioned Zeke. I mean, no one even talks about him anymore as their running back. And we know, I mean, he used to be their horse. He used to be the big guy. But now you're looking at Dak, who is, I think, is a little bit upset going into the season because obviously he's going to be a free agent after this year. And Jerry Jones is not even talked about signing him. So that's going to be a big, big thing for them. But CeeDee Lamb, and they have another guy, Brandon Cooks, who we don't even talk about or nobody really said anything about it. He's also he's a weapon. He's a deep threat for Prescott. So their offense, I'm telling you, that offense can cook, and that offense can make a lot of big plays. It's going to be a big, big test for our guys in the secondary. And our secondary is pretty good, but we're going to really see how good they really are against these guys. And they also have this kid, Jake Ferguson, who is their tight end, who is I think is just going to have a phenomenal year. So Dallas Cowboys are no slouch. I mean, they're America's team. But you know what I think? You don't hear any of the national press right now talking about the Cleveland Browns or the Cleveland Browns going to win pretty much the AFC North. The Cleveland Browns going to end up playing the Kansas City Chiefs in the championship game, and then the Cleveland Browns go to the Super Bowl. You don't hear any of that stuff right now. But I think if we could take care of the Dallas Cowboys at home in Cleveland, I think all of that will change. All that will change because we're talking about America's team.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. There's not a team out there that Kansas City won the Super Bowl, but I think the Dallas Cowboys get more press. They get more, everybody's talking about the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. And when Jerry Jones does a press conference, everybody's right there listening to him. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be.
Everything is viral.
Everything is viral. So I can't wait to see this game, but I
think the secondary, to your point, is going to be the key here because Dak, for being the NFL leader in touchdowns last year, he also had 9 interceptions. So if our guys can, really read, that'll be huge.
I agree with you, but they're going to have their hands full. I mean, they're really going to have their hands full because, again, Prescott, he can play too now. I mean, don't get me wrong. He threw a lot of interceptions, but this guy could play. And then this is a contract year for him. He's planning to get a contract. But again, those guys, CeeDee Lamb and Cooks, I mean, those are the two main guys. And I'm telling you, I think, but Emerson and Denzel, there's not a doubt in my mind that they can't handle these guys.
Emerson and Denzel, we trust.
I know they can handle them. But, and then, we don't even want to talk about. We're going to talk about their defense, but I'm going to leave that before we start jumping into that. That side of the ball is going to be it's going to be tough too. I mean, those guys. But can you believe it though? We're opening up the season with the Dallas Cowboys. Here's why I'm so excited about football season. What a better game to kick this thing off Thursday night. Right. The Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs are playing each other. I knew you were going to
mention that.
Oh, my goodness.
Good football right off the rip.
Good football
Pat,
right off the rip.
Do you have something to add here?
We gotta jump into that. And then also, is there a game in Brazil? I think.
Yeah, guys. Eagles starting out the season in Brazil. The Browns were rumored for that game for a little bit, but the Eagles going down to Sao Paulo.
Oh, don't you love it? And people can say what they want to say. We love baseball. We do. But football is king.
It's a Browns town. All right, we got to take another break, Hanford. We'll be back with a little more Week 1 preview for our Brownies right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We are previewing our Browns Week 1, our opening against the Cowboys. And you know what? We actually have a little blast from the past video that our producer Pat has teed up for us. 1991, Pat. Look who was coaching for the Browns.
How about that, Hanford? 1991. You know this name right here? You know this name?
Absolutely.
Opening the season against the Cowboys.
Absolutely. That is the man himself, Bill Belichick. Guys, can you believe that Bill Belichick is not coaching in the league right now? I mean, can you guys believe that? That is crazy. You're talking about one of the better coaches ever to coach in the National Football League right now is out of a job. That's not in the league right now.
You weren't playing with the Browns.
No, I was.
Minifield
was there. Minifield was still there, but I was no longer. I was done. But Bill I don't know if me and Belichick could have got along anyway. No, I'm only kidding. Bill was a great coach. Speaking of coaches, Gab, the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator is a guy by the name of Mike Zimmer, who is coaching the defense. And the only reason why I mention this because it's going to be like a little chess match going on between him and Stefanski. And those two guys are very, very familiar with each other. I mean, very familiar. They go way back to their days with the Minnesota Vikings. And that's how well they know each other. So that's going to be interesting to see how Zimmer is going to defend against Stefanski and how Stefanski is going to try to attack Zimmer's defense. So that's one of the things I can't wait to watch during this ball game. But,
yeah, it'll be interesting, too, because Kevin Stefanski's two tight end offense, Zimmer is very well versed.
Yes.
He was the head coach.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how they play David Njoku in this game. A couple two tight end sets. You never know with the Cowboys.
You never know. And of course, let's not forget this: the Dallas Cowboys are going into this football game without one of their best cornerbacks, Deron Bland, who's not playing in this ball game. But also they got the other corner on the other side, Trevon Diggs, who is extremely well. So I think Bland, who probably one of the guys, Carson or Butler, is probably one of those guys that's probably going to take his place. But, guys, we all know this defense all goes by Micah Parsons. This kid, I'm telling you, what he's going to do is he's going to just go up and down our offensive line. I think he has pretty much the freedom that Myles Garrett has. I mean, he's got the freedom to line up wherever he want to line up on that defensive line, and whoever he think is a weak link, that is the guy that he's going to go after. And we know this offensive line, guys, we've had some problems. I mean,
yeah. What are we gonna need to do? I mean, Parsons, one of the top, pass
rushers
in the league, and we're gonna have to, like you said, how are we gonna stop this?
Yeah, Gab. The left tackle situation is really difficult. Jack Conklin, he'll be back, but Jed Wills still questionable, not practicing. So what do you guys think? Micah Parsons is a handful, so it's gonna be difficult.
He is a handful, but if you listen to Stefanski talk, he doesn't seem like he's worried too much about it. At least he's not showing that to us anyway. But he's pretty much up on next man up. If you look at it, he's got a guy on that offensive line that could pretty much play anything. James Hudson, who has just been going up and down that line, and Jack Conklin is, he's the guy that's going to be back. Obviously, we know Joe Petonio is the glue, and then we got Ethan, who is pretty much at that center position. So I think that offensive line is going to be able to hold up, but not many are able to hold up throughout a whole game with that Parson kid, because obviously that's what he specializes at. And then again, he's looking for a new contract. He's waiting on Jerry Jones to sign him. And boy, you talking about going to break the bank. I'm like, Jerry, now. I mean, all these guys, I mean, you looking at them and counting against the salary cap. You got Dak. You just gave CeeDee all that money. And those are two guys that's going to demand a lot of money. But when we start talking about these guys with the Dallas Cowboys, and I forgot all about DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, the defensive end. I forgot all about this guy. I mean, obviously we know he's going to cause havoc in the backfield. So you could tell I'm getting excited about this game. And you know what you hear about? I'll say this: you hear about a lot of guys that are hurt, or they have these knick-knack injuries. But the closer you get to game time, guys, watch and see, these guys will get well because they want to play. They want to be there. They want to play in this ball game.
How about CeeDee Lamb just being out all preseason? Like, we were talking about Deshaun's rust, and his was from an injury. But, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, are we catching him at a good time then to come out a little cold?
Well, you know
You
what
think he's going to show up just
you know what I think, Gab.
fresh off his new hot deal?
Well, I think the thing that maybe a possibility with him, he may maybe tweak a hamstring or quad or something like that. But I think the good thing is he got back in time where he got some work in.
Yeah.
He's been practicing, so I think we're catching
Didn't
CeeDee.
seem like anything as serious, obviously, as Deshaun.
I don't think we're catching CeeDee at a good time right now. I think this guy is just unbelievable with the numbers that he put up. Dog, do you know where CeeDee went to school? You know where he went to college?
I do not.
You know, giving you a little time to
Southern Mississippi?
pull that up. No, you get close now. But give you a little time to pull that up a little bit.
There's only one other answer that it could be.
If I could guess. I'm trying to think. Oh, Oklahoma. I know it. CeeDee Lamb went to Oklahoma. I know that.
Gab, pull out your phone and see where CeeDee Lamb went to school. Come on, call him out right now. I'm trying to give you guys a little time to see where CeeDee Lamb went to school. Was it Roll Tide? Is it Roll Tide? Is it Alabama? Where did he go to school?
He went to Oklahoma.
No, it was Oklahoma.
Played with Baker Mayfield.
Wow. The more you know. You're silly.
Don't say Baker Mayfield anymore around here, dog. That's a curse word. We can't think of Baker Mayfield.
Not feeling dangerous anymore. Not feeling dangerous.
But guys, here's a question and something that we talk about on a serious note. We talk about the offensive line, but Nick Chubb. I mean, that's going to be a big thing. That's going to be a big thing in this ball game. I mean, obviously, he's out for the first 4 games, but Pierre Strong and Ford, I mean, those are the 2 guys that's going to have to carry that load. I mean, that's going to be interesting to see because that's going to be an ally for Deshaun. I mean, because he's got to have a running game. If he's got a running game, that can maybe he could do some play action passes and throw the football. So, boy, this is just a big game all the way around. I'm just upset because we have to wait to 4:25 before they play the damn thing. I mean, why don't they just make it a 1:00 game? But this is the big game of the day. The Dallas Cowboys against those Cleveland Browns.
Sounds like a little jingle. The big game
That's right.
of the day.
That's right.
The big game of the day.
Tom Brady making his broadcasting debut for this one here in Cleveland in the 425 Fox slate. What do you think he's going to be like, guys, on the microphone? Greatest quarterback of all time? Best broadcaster of all time?
I think he'll be actually pretty natural. I've seen his social media stuff. He's got some restrictions, though, because he just purchased a minority ownership in the Raiders. So they're putting some restrictions on. I don't know what the details of all of that are, but he won't be able to, I don't know, probably say whatever.
Well, I think that
he's going to be the leading color commentary, though.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, I think that ownership is still pending, but you are exactly right with what you just said. And I think Tom Brady's going to be great. I mean, because you got a guy in the booth that really knows football. I mean, Tom Brady could probably tell you what the Cleveland Browns and what the Dallas Cowboys, what they're getting on offense, what they're getting ready to run before they even run the play. I mean, that's how smart this guy is. And plus, they're paying him a ton of money. I mean, Tom, I'm not mad at you. I'm happy for you, big dog. I am not mad at you. I am happy for you. But
10-year, $375 million
deal. I mean, they're paying him a ton of money, and I think he's worth every cent. I mean, I really do.
If you think about it,
guys, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Tom Brady. I don't even think though he can.
Nuts, though.
I don't even think he can go in the locker rooms. I think that's one of those restrictions.
Is that one of the
I think that's one of them. But
obviously, you can't do the gambling and tampering.
Oh no.
That's a given.
Hey, when they're paying you that much money, you don't even want. If anyone come close to you, talking about gambling, you better get out of my way. No.
Yeah, it's interesting, guys. We see private equity is now going to be allowed in ownership groups. So you're going to see people more like Tom Brady and private equity firms joining in with the NFL. So there's going to be a lot more conflicts of interest. I don't know about the Calvin Ridley situation, gambling, that type of thing. But there's going to be a lot more money in football pretty soon here.
I think this will become a slippery slope. Maybe not with Tom Brady, but it'll become a slippery slope.
Come on, the NFL is printing money. I mean, they are printing money. I mean, this the
bank of Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell is just so sharp and so smart. I mean, this guy understands and he knows what he's doing, and that's why those owners are not getting rid of him, because he's making each and every one of them money. Plus, I don't know if you guys ever had the opportunity to meet him, or if you ever get the opportunity to meet him. He's just such a cool guy, such a nice guy. I mean, I really, really like him.
The Browns are 2.5-point favorites here at home for the season opener, guys. What's your quick predictions? Browns, Cowboys, week 1.
You want to go first? You want me to go?
Browns win at home. This fan base is nuts.
You know what I like? The Browns are a football team, and we all know they're a great football team. They play well at home, and I don't think that's going to change. This is going to be a tough game for them. This is going to be a really, really tough game for the Cleveland Browns. But I still think the Cleveland Browns will win this game. I think they will win at home, and I think they're going to take that home field advantage.
Let's get a
and
pick
beat
six.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, we're such homers. Okay, we got to go to break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We just got done previewing a little bit of our Browns-Cowboys home opener, and I do want to go a little bit around the AFC North, Hanford, kind of look at everybody else's matchups to kick off the season. So let's start with Bengals have New England at home. What do you think there?
Boy, that's why when you look at our game, talking about against the Dallas Cowboys, and we have them at home, that's why I think this game is going to be a big game for us, because it's going to be a very important game for us, meaning we have to come out of the gate strong, because I think the whole AFC North is going to be strong. And when you look at that game you're talking about the New England, they're having to travel to Cincinnati to play the Bengals, and we all know when you look at those Bengals, they got their most potent weapon back this year, talking about Joe Burrow, their quarterback, and as he goes, so goes the Bengals. And the Bengals is a good football team. The Bengals going to have a good football team. My understanding is they haven't decided or don't know what Lamar Chase is going to do, because I think he is yet to practice yet with this football team. I mean, this guy, he still has 2 years left on his contract. But I think this is a game that Cincinnati can win and will win. I think the most important thing there is when you look at the New England Patriots, I mean, you're talking about a mighty fall. I mean, this team has really failed a lot. I mean, from the days of, we talked about Bill Belichick earlier when he was the head coach, and obviously we know how many championships he's won with the New England Patriots. But this team right now is just not good at all. And I think this is a game the Bengals are going to come out really, really strong, and they're going to win this football game. So I think there's a team right in the AFC North that's going to start off 1-0. So very, very important game for us to come out of the gate strong.
What do you think about, we've got Pittsburgh at Falcons?
Boy, you're talking about, see, here's where I'm torn a little bit, because everybody's talking about the Atlanta Falcons are supposed to have a really good team this year. I have everybody's talking about they're going to be a much improved team this year. A little bit shocked, though. I know a lot of people are a little bit shocked. Pittsburgh named their starting quarterback, and everybody was expecting them to name Justin Fields, but wasn't the case. Russell Wilson won that job. Didn't surprise me, because because Mike Tomlin, he's a veteran type of guy, and so that didn't surprise me at all. So Pittsburgh always win. They always win. They always find a way to win. And I can't remember the last time they've had a losing season, especially since Mike Tomlin has been there. So this is a game I think Pittsburgh is going to win. I don't care what they say about the Atlanta Falcons. People can tell me and say all they want to say about how good they are, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to win this game. And now you're looking at two teams in the AFC North that have won their opening game, that are 1-0. And again, important for us because we cannot fall behind.
Okay, Thursday night football.
Wow, I know you was
you've
going to
been
get to
chatting with
this
your
one.
boy
I
Ozzy.
know you was going to get to this one.
But the Ravens are in Kansas City, and I mean, I don't know. I want Pat to weigh in on this as well. Who do you think's taking this one?
That's one of the games of the year right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. You can't really ask for much better. But I don't know. At home in Arrowhead, that home field advantage for the Chiefs is too much for me.
Pat, Gabby, listen to this. The Ravens are still upset. They are still mad. They think Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs kept them from not only going to the Super Bowl, but winning the Super Bowl last year. They had them right where they wanted them. Where I'm talking about that is they were playing them in Baltimore at home, and the Chiefs went in there and won that football game. Boy, you talking about a game. This is a game that makes me want to stand up right now in this chair. I'm just so excited about this game. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to sit down in front of the set and watch this game. You talking about two teams in the AFC that are a lot of people are saying that they're going to be the two teams in the end that's going to battle against each other. I think this is going to be an excellent football game. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
I think
after we just got done with all this at-home talk.
I think, but Kansas City went into Baltimore and beat Baltimore.
Yeah, so they've got some unfinished. They got to give them
Baltimore have some unfinished business. I think Baltimore, but this is not going to be an easy game. I mean, we all know Mahomes. I mean, we know what he's capable of. But then again, you got Lamar. And you got those two guys, two excellent quarterbacks, two excellent football teams, two excellent coached football teams. And these are the two guys, everybody seems that the two teams, everybody seems is going to think are still going to be standing by the time the end of the season come around to represent. They think one of these teams is going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so Hanford, the Ravens 3-point dogs, but it sounds like, I know you're not a betting man because you work with the Cleveland Browns very closely. I know that. But if you were talking to me, you'd be taking the Ravens money line here. That's crazy. A 3-point underdog, you're going money line. I like it.
I tell you,
I like that play.
Baltimore is going to be a powerhouse again. Again, that's why we can't fall behind. And when I say we, I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns. We cannot afford to fall behind because every single team in the AFC North, every single team is a strong team. That's why we have to beat those Dallas Cowboys, and I think that's why we will beat the Dallas Cowboys in Cleveland Browns Stadium at 4:25 on Sunday afternoon. Is that afternoon? That's close to evening?
Let's see, 6. Oh, wait, no.
The game is 4:25, but is that considered afternoon, or is that
Good question. I would say...
What do you say, Pat? Is that
I don't know, but NFL fans call that the witching hour because of NFL Red Zone and the Hansen, I forget his first name, but on the whip around for NFL, that's the witching hour. So you got the end of the first the 1 p.m. games and then the 4:25 games kick off. It's a good time of year.
Hey guys, let me tell you this. This where and I'll say this to you guys. This where I get the jibbies or get excited at. I always feel like right now I have a few plays in me.
I know it.
You know?
You're ready to suit up. Give this guy a helmet. He's got a couple plays in him.
I feel like I have a few plays in me. As long as I have Myles Garrett and as long as I have Zadarius Smith, as long as I have those two guys up there rushing the quarterback, I think I have a few plays in me. I think I could play. I think if knowing that they're going to get to the quarterback, I could bump and run and keep that receiver off the line of scrimmage. The hell with CeeDee Lamb. The hell with Brandon Cook. The hell with Jake Ferguson. Hanford Dixon is ready for a few plays, and I'm ready to go.
You heard it here first. No injuries at all.
Make sure the safety's over top.
We got to take a break. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We were just going around the AFC North, Hanford. Let's expand a little bit, continue around the NFL. On Friday night, it's the Packers at Eagles. I mean, they're all at because it's in Brazil.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to play in a foreign country?
Well, it's funny because they just, I think they have a hat and they take both teams and put their names in this hat, and then the name they pull out, I think they make that the home team. Yeah, they make that the home team. But when you say the Packers, I immediately start thinking about Brett Favre. Where did Brett Favre go to school?
Well, it's not.
Come on now.
Was he a Golden Eagle,
The
Hanford?
Golden Eagle, my
Southern
man,
Mississippi.
Southern
How about that?
Mississippi, big dog.
How
boy,
about that?
boy, you're hot today, big dog.
He's got all his southern schools.
But I think that's going to be a great game. I mean, actually,
Those two teams finished their seasons pretty differently last year. Philadelphia, what was it? They lost 6 of their last 7 games. Green Bay won 7 of their last 10 games. So this is kind of an interesting.
they really did, and Philadelphia is under a lot of pressure to get this thing going again. Because when you look at all the players that they have on that football team. I mean, people are looking for Philadelphia to be a really good football team, and then the Packers are trying to get it going again because, they went through that whole thing with Aaron Rodgers, and now he's no longer there, and obviously he's with the Jets right now. So that's going to be interesting and a good game because you got both teams trying to get their programs headed back, as you mentioned, in the right direction. But when I look at it, how can you go against the Philadelphia Eagles? Because when you look at all the talent that's on that team, starting at the quarterback position, and we won't talk about where he road tide guy, but I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to be the best team. I think they're the team that's going to win this game. But it's
you think they're a bigger threat for the NFC?
I think somewhat, but you don't know what you have. Like you say, you're talking about a football team that ended their season on a losing downslope, so you don't know what you're going to have with that football team. But I was going to touch on real quick how difficult is it going across the pond or wherever you're going, traveling like they're traveling, going to play a game like that. It's fun for the players, but the players really hate because players don't like change. I mean, some players wear the same socks every game. Some players have a lucky T-shirt that players
are out of your routine.
Yeah, exactly. You're out of your routine, and players are very, very superstitious, and they want to go, but they don't want to go because obviously some of them haven't been to Brazil, and they get a chance to go there, and a lot of times they take their families with them, which is a good thing. It's great for the families because they don't have to play a football game. They can go there and they could just sightsee and see the surroundings and do all this stuff. But for a player, they're happy for the player. Their families got a chance to go, but no, they would much rather play at home or travel to the opposing team or at home and play the game.
Yes. Okay, let's continue on here. Sunday night, Rams are at Lions. And this is going to be a rematch of last year's wild card game. If you remember, Detroit won by 1 point, 24-23. And we're looking at Matthew Stafford facing his longtime former team again. And Hanford, you played like your entire career in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Can you imagine playing against the Browns?
Well, I could tell you this, Matthew Stafford, he's I guarantee you those guys in that defensive room, they're pulling him to the side, picking his brain right now because they want to know, they want him to tell them everything that he could possibly tell them. And we know that he could tell them a lot about that football team. Boy, the Detroit, I mean, guys, you talk about a football team that is really on the up right now. You talk about the Detroit Lions. That's a good football team with a good coach and a team, and they made their team better this year. But you talking about how difficult it would be to go play for another team.
Yeah, or like against a longtime former teammate.
You know what immediately came to mind with me? God dog it, we got Tyler Huntley was in our locker room. He's in our locker room, on our team, in our offensive room, learning our offense. And you know where he is right now? Back at the Baltimore Ravens. He's back at the Baltimore Ravens. And you think he's not a little bit upset that he's not here and he's not pulling those when we have to play the Baltimore Ravens, he's not going to tell them everything that he learned about this offense. That's gonna be scary. That's
points made.
Going to be scary. But they have a little vendetta. I mean, when you play for a team and the team lets you go and you're no longer there and you want to do everything you possibly can to get back at that team. And I think that's what I think Stafford is. He's going to do everything to help that team prepare for his old team.
Okay, Monday night, Jets at 49ers. How much can the Jets really expect from Aaron Rodgers? He's 40, and he only played 5 snaps last year.
Boy, that's going to be a good one. But speaking of the 49ers, I mean, everybody was talking about the 49ers. They hadn't signed their two top players, Trent Williams being one of them. They're pretty much the best offensive lineman in the league. And what's that wide receiver, Pat?
Brandon Ayuk.
That's right.
Trent Williams in the building again.
So we wanted this kid, Brandon Ayuk. We wanted him really, really bad. My understanding, we offered them a second and a third round or 2 draft picks. And check this out. And Amari Cooper. Now, you can say what you want to say. If I'm Amari Cooper, if I heard that, I'm not too happy about that. But
take that into week one.
Take that into week one, and then they still turn us down. So, but it's football season, guys. I'm happy.
Hanford, we're all happy. We got to take one more break, Pat. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We've got a few minutes left, Hanford. And you know what I forgot to ask you? If you've been keeping up with college football, which, because you've been dropping college references all segment here.
Boy, what a great week, too, for the college game. And I have to give all my buddies a lot of stuff about Ohio State. Because they're huge Ohio State fans. And you guys, man, struggling with Akron. I mean, Akron had you all scared.
No, it was a complete blowout.
Dog, Akron had you all scared for a whole half,
Hey, when the game's only one half, if it's only one half, Hanford, they would have been fine.
Never a question.
Whole half, Akron
What was the final score? They scored
52-6.
touchdown.
Hey, what did Alabama do? Did Alabama play? I mean, I think Alabama played Western Kentucky. What was it, like 63-0? And Southern Miss lost, so don't start with me, okay? So, so I could go off on that one.
We knew you had to get your one lick on Ohio State.
Hey, but I'll say this, and then we can move on. Ohio State is a team that's really, really to be reckoned with this year. I mean, you talking about a football team with a lot of talent, and the SEC don't want to see Ohio State this year, and that's saying a lot. Because you got Georgia, Alabama, teams like that, and Ohio State. Ohio State needs to just go on over to the SEC and play ball in the SEC. Yeah. Get out that Big T. All my boys, man, they're mad at me right now, but I love you, okay?
we love you, Hanford. We love for all the bruising you do for all of us.
But I just have to give him a hard time. Some people say I'm no good. I'm crazy as can be. I get drunk in the morning, I get stoned in the afternoon, but I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, leave this short hair country boy alone.
Thanks for watching the Hanford Dixon Show and our beautiful tenor, baritone over here. We'll see you next week.